Hello everyone, and welcome to my universe. And hello there, Protox. Welcome back. Okay, so there are some things on the character that I do want to fix at some point, but I have come to the conclusion that I will not be able to get that right until I finish the background. Hello then, hello again, God, how to say your name? Grimirikas, yes. Yes, hello, and I am indeed still working on it. I'm quite happy with it. That's why I'm taking my time. I want to get it, just right. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to be able to fully get the lighting on her completely right until I have the lighting in the background completely right. So that's what I'm going to do today. Just one small thing I want to do first. Wrong one. I kind of feel like she's rotated a little bit more than I want her to be now. So if I can just do a gentle little push here. Maybe slide her over just a little bit. Like, I don't want her to be straight up and down, but it just needs a slight angle there. Make her... Like, her legs didn't look like they were under her, which was the main problem I had. Let's push her into a good spot now. And I think that should do it. So you can see just a slight change there. Very, very small. But I do feel like this leg here, the one behind, looks a little bit more underneath her now. I could probably even do a little tiny bit more. Maybe not that much. But yeah, it's mostly this back leg that I want to make sure is underneath her. And I also don't want her to be so much that the cape feels like it's no longer parallel. I'm not really familiar with The Witcher. I did play the original game, but that's the only one that I really played. So not familiar with the artist by name. No, this is just another VTuber. I know she designed her own self there. So maybe she likes The Witcher, I don't know, but this is her design here. I just made it fancy. I wanted to do an alternate design here for a masquerade style ball, so fancy in a fancy mansion. I like her design. I think it's pretty good. All right. So, let's start getting the background in here. I think I'll just do it the same way I did everything else. Actually, you know what? I think I want to try something. So that light is going to be huge, but we'll start here. And I think, instead of what I was doing last time, I think I'm just going to fill in the entire thing and then erase the areas that I don't want it to have dark on there. I think that'll be a little bit easier to manage with this particular way I've been trying. So let's get the light back where I want it. So, let's see, where's the window? I need the window frame here, so you, and you, and you, and you. And then out there, just everywhere in the window is going to be light. And I'm only going to worry about half of it. I'm going to mirror this back onto the other side, like I did before, so I don't care about the left half for now. Okay, so everything here, light. And I think I want the top of the table to be dark. Let's just go ahead and hide Katya for a second while I figure this out. I can kind of tell where she's covering things up based on the areas that look really bad. So I at least have a rough idea of where I don't have to worry about things. Okay, so I kind of want the top of the table here to be light, and Let's see. Are there any other areas that I would like to have nice and well lit? I'm just gonna kind of be messy about it right now. Actually, you know, instead of, no, I did not say to flood fill. What? Anyway, I was saying instead of using the eraser, I should just use black here. Okay, give me a little more control there. Now for the flowers. Let's see. I don't really think I want anything down here to catch any light. Like, I might put some highlights down there later, but I think this is going to be too much light here. So we're just going to leave that very dark. I do not want this area to catch any attention, like, at all. So, okay. Alright, so I'm just going to start by blocking in some of the bigger areas here. So the leaves in the window should definitely be light. I think this flower right here should be pretty light. And anything that's really directly facing the light. And then I'm making an exception for some of the leaves here. Because let me go get my window frame again. I have a vision. And what I would like to try... Like, come on. I know that window frame is part of things. There we go. Ah, I see. So that's why it's like that. Alright. So basically my vision is I want to make it look like... Especially like the light is shining through this window here, so any place where you see the window frame, a little bit more obvious up here where it's a bit more refined, I want to show signs through the leaves here, where there's like a little bit more of a shadow. So, I'm gonna do something like that. I don't think I'm gonna do it on the roses. I think that they're a little bit too thick. Maybe on some of the petals. Like you can see that this petal here is kind of sticking out a bit more, so I might do something like that with these ones specifically. Up at the top, I think I'd like to keep things a little darker. But let's go ahead and allow some highlights to come through. We'll just do some little guys. And I'm gonna be a little bit messy about things. But yeah, so those areas that I think will have some transparency, because, you know, if you shine a bright light through a leaf, you can kind of see through it. And I think that'll make the lighting look more interesting. Whereas I think for a lot of the roses here, they'll end up just being more based on where the leaves themselves are. And like this one, I don't think receives any light through the window here, just some that's shining down below it from the primary light source. So I will light it like that instead. And exactly how each of these little things is going to end up just depends on the little things like that. So let's see, this guy is going to be more lit from the bottom here, maybe a little from the side. And so now this just means I have to go and do all the foliage again. It is what it is. You can't always escape the foliage. And I'll moderate all of this little bits of lighting and stuff, you know, a little bit later. Where is my foliage? There we are. Because I don't want to hit the window frame with this. I just want a little sliver of light kind of coming down through there. Actually, let me see. How is the window working here? Like this part of the window. So this goes up and all the way around here. Okay. So let's get something like this, because I still want that edge of the leaf to be lit. And so those are the kinds of decisions we will be making today. It'll probably take a minute to get through all this, but at least I only have to draw half. And then I just mirror the other half, and it'll be great. Alright. But at least for a lot of this, I don't want to go too hard in it. I do plan to do some fancy things with some of the reflected light. But that will be for actual lighting. This is just shadows. So I'm just kind of picking some areas where I don't think the shadows will be very strong. But for the most part, I do think most of this will be in shadow. So that's why I'm just kind of doing little skinny strips where I do think it is more facing the light source directly. All right. So kind of the same with the petals here, just areas that I want to be a little bit brighter. But I think this is gonna look so good once it's done. I'm really excited. I've been wanting to work on this all week. So I'm not sure if I'll finish this in time for her birthday, so if that happens, I'll probably end up doing most of the right side, just off stream. Unusual for me, but I will make sure to keep anything I do off stream recorded in the time lapse that I will upload at the end. But I want to make sure I finish it in time. I do. Okay. And just little bits of light there, and maybe just a little guy right there. I think that looks pretty good. So I think that's where I will leave that. I think most of these leaves can just be in shadow. I'll just give this guy a tiny sliver of light. Because in terms of what I'm doing here, it's not only just thinking about where it makes sense for the light to be, I'm also kind of trying to separate out the various shapes from each other so they don't kind of blend in and all start looking like one mass. I think it's probably fine for certain parts to look like one mass, like over here, for example. I kind of want all this to just be one big shape. I don't really want to split it up. But over here, a little bit closer to the window, I do think that they look a little bit better, a little bit more distinct. So that's just one of those things that is a choice. That's something to think about. And I do think that this part of the pillar is facing it pretty directly, so I'll let him be lit, and I don't mind leaving things a little bit messy for now. It'll be cleaned up later. It's gonna probably involve a lot of gradation work, so I'm not too concerned. I just want the basics in here right now. Okay. So just gotta go through each flower. And at the very least here, the bottom, the little table that's at the bottom there, I think it's done. I don't think I need to do anything for the shadows on that one. I'm excited to to get to the next bit though, where I get to make everything really soft. That's gonna be fun. So excited. I'll just make all of this light then. It doesn't look good with that one little box. Okay. And then through here, let's just by default get rid of that little sliver. That doesn't look very good. So I can be a little bit more deliberate in where I let the light through. Like this one has that little fold there that I kind of want to emphasize because I think it looks cute. Okay. So I'm just thinking about where I think the petals more directly face the light there. We're gonna make some bright spots. And then after the bright spots, I can start thinking about like genuine highlights and stuff. Let's see. No, I think that'll be better for highlights later. This one, I think I'm just going to leave totally in shadow. He's buried. He's a bit buried. So, we'll just leave him there. That looks fine, just like that. The window itself, I'm just going to leave completely in shadow for the time being. And I'll fix it up once it comes time to add the gradients and whatnot. Okay, now this one is like the opposite of this guy. He is just way in there, directly facing all that light. So I think I'm actually just going to get rid of all the shadows there. Okay. Phew. It's alright. It's always a lot. There's just so many leaves. I drew so many. I drew so freaking many. Okay. But there we go. We're already at the bottom here. Fortunately, these details are fairly simple. All I really have to do is decide which ones I kind of want to become one solid shape and which ones I'd like to let stick out a little bit more. So back here, they're all just going to bunch together, and that's it. A little closer to the window, I'm adding just a little bit more light there to separate them. Okay. Well, that wasn't as bad as I feared it would be. Look, I swear every time that I need to come and work on foliage again, I'm just like groaning internally. But at this stage, it's like everything's drawn, so I don't have to do that much anymore. It's great. It's fantastic. Actually, yeah, this part is facing the light a little more directly, so I'll let him have a little bit of brightness again. And this is why I spent a little bit of time figuring out how I actually wanted the window to be, even though it was mostly going to be covered up by the character. Because now, I know how to paint these flowers. And it made my life a little bit easier in the long run. Yeah, and I think that's fine. Dark. You're a little buried, but I think that these petals are sticking out just enough that I'll give you a little bit of light here. That's perfect. Alright, so now we just gotta finish bringing out the last little bit of leafy goodness here. Okay. I think this one should have a little bit of light too. And a couple of these. And then I'll scroll back up just to make sure I didn't miss any that I think should be a little bit more distinct. Oh, yep. I think this one should be a little more distinct. But I think it's kind of okay for these guys to fade into the background. I think I'd like to bring this guy out just a little more here. Alright, this is why I always go back and check my work a little. Let's let this guy come out a little bit too. But I do think all of that is more suited for reflected light. But there we go. I think that's going to be first shadow pass there. And I think I'm actually ready to go and start smoothing things. So let's see. One thing I didn't talk about is one of the problems that I had with the shading of the character is that I felt like it was a little bit too smooth, particularly on the face. It's not surprising. I did use an airbrush to do all that, and that tends to make very, very smooth gradations. And there are some places where I think it looks really good. Like over here on the skirt, I think the gradations look great. On the pants here, perfect. Exactly what I need. Up on the face and maybe on the neck thing and the hair, less convinced. So I do plan to kind of go back over some of that, and rather than just do everything with the airbrush this time. Since I already ran into this problem on the flowers before, I'm just gonna go straight in with my, what do you call it? The opacity brush. And we're just gonna make everything soft. It's probably gonna take a little bit longer than what I would get using the airbrush. That's okay. I do think that the result will look a little bit more leaf-like. I don't plan to draw the veins on the leaves or anything. I don't think we're close enough to really be able to see them. It's like at most I could do like slight hints like this for like a little bit of leaf texture, which I might do. But it's probably not going to be anything more than like indistinct scribbles. Just like something like that at most. So here's where I want to get some of those, that's feeling of the sun, of the light filtering through the window. Yes. Words. Oh, I don't know, man. Words have been hard for me this week. I don't know what's up. But these things happen. Okay. And I'll do my best. I think I just had a little bit more trouble sleeping than usual. Or more accurately, no, that's not true. I can't call that trouble sleeping. There's a couple of times this week I lost track of time doing something. And I got to bed late. So I'm probably just paying for it. Sleep schedules are important. Always do your best to maintain them. I think that's a pretty good looking leaf. I think I'm happy with that. There we go, and here I'll make things a little bit softer. So like right here is gonna be, I want it to be a harder edge. Just give the impression of the window a little bit more. Like not super hard or anything, but a little bit harder. Like I said, just a slight indistinct scribble. I think it looks nice. I'm not going to go super hard on it, though. And I'm probably only going to do it for the biggest ones in the light. Like, directly shining there. So over here, I just kind of wanted to give the effect of a little bit of rim light around the edge here. Alright. Something like that. And I was considering going and jumping into the window, but I told myself no. Let's do the window last. I've been kind of looking forward to getting the light filtering through that properly, so let's do that last, because I still carry some of that excitement, and I think it'll help me get through the leaves, which are a little bit boring. Okay, and let's see. A little bit of light here, I think. Just a little. And I don't know why I decided to start in the middle, but I sure did. I think it's fine. I'll work my way up and then just go to the bottom. And I'll just slowly build up these little transitions. I actually already think they're looking pretty good. I am pleased. Very much so. Look at him go. Just being happy leaves. I really do think it's funny just how much better just a little bit of light can make things look. Like it's crazy, the before and after. After I finish all the lighting here, at least for the background, I'll go ahead and show you the before and after, because sometimes I just stare at that, I'm just like, Lighting is the best. Life is good. Sufficiently awesome lighting, it can absolutely get me through even the most tedious of parts. Okay, so I want this part to be just a little darker. That's why I just erased it there, because I planned to do something like that, where even though it's facing the light directly, we see a little trace of the window frame. I think that's gonna look lovely once I get it just right. But first, let's get this transition. I think it'll be a little bit easier to manage if I do it in this order. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now let's get the impression of the window frame in there. Blocking some of the light, especially toward the back. Ooh. Yeah, that's pretty nice. I approve. Let's just smooth it out a little bit more. Okay, there we go. Something like that. So let's see, for here, I know that I'm going to want a couple of lighting layers, but I think some of them will not require any direct leaf rendering like I'm doing right now. So I wouldn't be surprised if I only have to draw leaves like 2 or 3 more times. It's okay. I still find doing it like this a bit easier than trying to just straight up get the colors and lighting right on the first time through. I do think it is a bit easier. Okay. Yeah, I guess this rose is next. So here, I think I can actually keep my bands in there a little bit more so you can see the brush strokes a little bit more clearly. I think that'll actually look good for flowers specifically, because they kind of have that bandy texture on them if you look at them closely. I'm not quite sure how to describe the texture there, but it looks like that. All right. Now get that impression of the window here. While still keeping some of its light. There we go, I think that's pretty good. And then I can just touch up the flower that I want to keep mostly lit. Yeah, something like that. And I'll just go around, because that seems perfect. And I don't think I need this overly blended. I want to keep it a little bit rough. I actually think that'll look a bit better than going too hard on it. Right now, I'm just trying to make sure that I'm getting the side actually facing the light. Yeah, something like that. And for a lot of these, I think I can actually stand to make them just a little bit darker. So like a lot of these guys, I think I'm going to make them a little darker than they currently are. Not too much, but a little bit. That's kind of the nice thing about the opacity brush, you know, I just kind of scribble over it a little bit and I can change those colors very easily. Just like that. Actually, doesn't really even take a lot of pen control at all. You just kind of scribble a little bit and it's fine. And then I think that this will look good once I get a little bit more of the reflected light and stuff in. This is going to be another one of those places where I'm just like, don't worry, trust me. It'll be great once we get there. And I might want one more layer for some of the absolute darkest parts, but I think I'm going to do the light first. Just to kind of see how all that shakes out. And that'll give me a good idea of what kind of additional lighting I need for this. I'm not quite sure. But I'll know it when I see it. Okay. So I think that's fine. And you know what, while I'm here, I forgot this flower. Let's get him. I don't want the edge to be quite that hard. Perfect. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty perfect. Oh, what are you? No, seriously, what is that? Oh, the thorn. Okay. Actually, yeah, a thorn should have a little bit of light on him. Just a little. I think that's fine. Okay. So now we just gotta gradually build up everything over here again. And yeah, I think I will add just, no, that's too big. Just slight impression of leaf veins on a couple of these. Leave them fairly scribbly. I don't think they have to be very precise at all. Someday I'll kinda learn how to do stuff like this with fewer brushstrokes, I think. I think that'd be useful to pick up. I don't think it's super important, but it would definitely speed me up a little. I still enjoy thinking about the things that if I could get good, would let me draw faster. I think it's useful. Okay, so yeah, just something like that. Oh, and I did not give you proper light there. Well, let's do that now. You definitely should have a little bit of light coming right through here. Yeah, just kind of like that. I think that's fine. A lot of these things don't necessarily need a lot. I think this one should actually catch a little bit too. Let me see how we're looking so far. Yeah, I'd say so far so good. I think that looks about how I want it to. Stretch. Okay. I'll go ahead and get this flower. Actually, no. Before I get the flower, I think I'm gonna get that leaf. Leaf over here. Because he should definitely get a little bit of light. Just a little. I think I probably said, oh yes, I'll use the lighting for that. But no, I think straight up, I should have a little bit less shadow there. Okay. I can tell we're almost getting to the top. I started in the middle, so that means less, but nonetheless, it is very exciting. It's always exciting when I'm almost done with little things like foliage. Freaking leaves, man. There's so many. But I can't stop drawing them. They look good. Can't stop. I didn't actually realize at first that this was a separate petal, which is a problem. So let's give it some light so it's very clear that it is a separate petal. That's one thing that light can do very well for you with more stylized art. Just plop lights in places you want to be more distinct, more clear, and stand out a little bit more. And it'll do just that. It's great. It's so easy. Because it's like, before, it's like everything was just kind of the same, and everything was a little indistinct, and now there's like another layer of separation, and it's a little bit more clear. And that'll only get even more so once I add this layer. So, light, very good for that. Very good for separating things. And if you want it to fade into one solid mass for whatever reason, put less light. All you gotta do. Alright, so I'll let this pillar get hit a little bit, and then back to the leaf with me. I don't really feel the need to get it all the way to the bottom. I don't mind the leaves casting a slight shadow there, so I will leave whatever mark I happen to make there, because I think it's fine. I think it's totally fine. So let's see, what do I want to do with this little leaf here? Yeah, I think something like that is cute. Let it kind of flip there, and that's perfect. I don't think I need to go any further. This part, on the other hand, I don't think I want this pillar behind there to have any light at all in this area, so I'm gonna make sure that I stay within the leaf while I'm adjusting all that. And all these, I'm kind of cool with just leaving an indistinct mass. It can live like that, that's fine. So we'll just leave them like that. I think that they are perfectly content the way they are. It's a good way to be. Alright, and let's see, so here, this is another one I just kind of want to fade to nothing. And then the tip of it right there, I want it to be a little pointier. There we go. But I think that does it. Yeah, fortunately, blending all this is actually really easy and really straightforward. I thought it would be way worse, but no, it's fine. It's totally fine. Doesn't even feel bad at all. It's great. I just doodle around really quick, and suddenly I have a lovely leaf. That looks way better than it did before. Barely any work on my part. It's great. Okay, so now we're back to... Actually, I think I want you to be slightly darker just because window. But there we go. And you... Let's let you catch a little light there, but no, that's sufficient, I think. So now we're getting into the complex pattern. I'm glad I drew it, even though the flowers were gonna cover it up, because man, now I just know where it is, and I can just have an easy time, more or less. Keep things simple and nice and all that. I really do like the way that looks, though. Man. Like, just the way it's filtering through the leaves in the window. It's so pretty. God, it's gonna look so good once I get the light part on, instead of just the shadows here. Love lighting. Definitely one of my favorite parts. That's why there's very few paintings where I don't do some kind of atmospheric lighting. There's the occasional. Like, I remember I did a drawing of Midas recently, the VTuber. And I thought about doing light there. I even tried a couple of things, but it just looked worse than just kind of leaving it and letting the picture speak. Well, I guess I can't say speak for itself, but let the shapes kind of take over, and I think that ended up working better. So, you know, time and place for everything and all that. Man, you can see just me derping around on the window, an accident there. I'm gonna let the light shine through that so hard. It's gonna be great. But no, that's for future me. I gotta do this part first. Right now, I'm gonna do leaves. Once leaves are done, then I can go and do that. It's gonna be so good, though. I don't think it's gonna turn out too strong until I get to the actual light parts, but I assure you, what's in my head right now is very beautiful. It looks great. I look forward to when everyone can see it instead of, you know, just me and my imaginary friends. Gotta do a little bit more work before I can do that. Not too much, though. Just a little. I might actually change the color of this a little bit. I don't quite like how it's interacting with the green here. I'll see how all that shakes out once I'm done. I'm just gonna get this part first. I don't really mind rendering with the wrong color. It doesn't bother me. Because I know I'll just fix it at the end. It doesn't look too bad on the flowers, but I don't know. On certain parts of the green, I don't quite like this color. You know, as I do this, I'm still just so happy that I only have to do half. And that I can just mirror this over to the other side, I think. I'll probably have to contend with the middle where things overlap a bit since I'm using opacity so much. But it's still easier than drawing all of it. It is. I thought about trying to get the mirror tool working again, but I'm too scared at this point. I just don't trust it, and when you can't trust the reflection, well, there's nothing to be done. It can't be used. That's okay. I'm pretty sure I can get this flipped over just fine. If I can't, I'll figure it out later. Once again, my brain is kind of wandering around a little bit because I'm here rendering petals and leaves, and I've already done like several dozen of them, and my brain is just slowly collapsing on itself. Art is hard, man. But I want all these flowers and leaves to exist. This isn't even the worst flower garden I've done. I drew one a couple of years ago that was way worse in this regard. The character even had a flower textured bodice. So I had to draw flowers, and then I had to draw flowers, and then I had to draw more flowers. Because there were some flowers in the foreground, and the background, and the midground. It just never ended. That's okay. It looked really good in the end, so it was worth it. This reminds me, I think I have to go over some of the leaves again to make sure that they have their veiny parts. I'll do that in a sec. I don't want to right now. I want to get the light filtering through the window onto the leaves. I really like this. I think it looks really good. Make it just a little bit smaller so that this way it looks like the leaves are a short distance away from the window and they're kind of making the shadow a little bit more blurry and indistinct and all sorts of nice little things. Okay. So now we just got these parts at the top, and then I can go onto the bottom, since I decided to do this out of order for some reason. I just picked a spot and started, and by the time I realized it wasn't the bottom or the top, I was like, oh, okay. Oh, that's fine. I'll just start here. I have to get everything eventually anyway. Here is fine. These things happen. Okay. Oh man, that's just so nice though. Look at that. Just so nice. So let's see, how do I want to capture that here? Let's just have a slightly darker light going right through there. And then we'll let some of the light get captured there. And yeah, I think that'll do it. I think that looks good. Okay. I think I'm gonna get this flower before I get the rest of the leaves there. Sounds good to me. I'll let here just catch a little tiny bit of light. Kind of nice. Just being able to do things in whatever order works at this point. There are certain parts where I'm kind of particular about the order that I do things in. I like to start with things that are going to be on top of other things, so that this way I know which parts will be covered and which parts I can largely ignore. But here, it's like, I can do whatever at this point. Lighting is flatter than a lot of the other things, since I do it with a multiply layer on the top. But just whatever works at this point. Whatever works. It's nice, digital's nice in that regard too, because you can kind of, with the help of layers, do things in pretty much any order. There's a lot more flexibility. It's nice. I like it a lot. Ooh, that's perfect, man. Okay, I like that one. I like that one a lot. Okay, let's fix up these petals a little bit. Just kinda make their presence a little bit more clear here. Yeah, I think that looks fine. And then this guy right here. Is this the last for the top? I think it might be, actually. I guess I didn't quite get this leaf. Or if I did, not well enough. So let's smooth him out just a tad. There we go. I'll just scroll my way down to get there. Make sure that I've filled in everything in a way that pleases me. Oh yeah, and I should also do some leaf vein. Just the kind of small impressions of them. Keep them really small and really thin. I don't want them to be very noticeable at all. Not at all. I could probably skip them entirely, honestly, but I don't know. I kind of like it. Oh, I think I missed this leaf, actually. Sorry about that, little guy. Let's get your light on you. There we go. You don't get veins, though. You are not light enough. And I think it'll just go a long way to make them look just a little bit more transparent. Okay. And now we can do the bottom half. I think I'll just start from the bottom, actually. Okay. And then... oh, man. I'm really looking forward to getting the lights on this one. So, right now I'm mostly just doing shadows. But I think the highlights will go a really long way to making things look really nice. Okay. Yeah, and it looks like I started a little bit more than halfway down, and the fact that I went up means that I think most of it is done already. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. I complain, but I actually do kind of like drawing flowers. I think they're fun. They do take a little while, but I do think that for the most part, they are quite fun. Oh, right. There was also one thing I wanted to... Let me check this again here. Yeah, I want to move this leaf just a little bit. It's maybe a weird thing, but I really, really, really hate the way that it's lining up with her skirt. With the rotation I put on her, it's not quite as bad, but it's still enough that I think I'm just gonna move it up a little bit here. There we go. And hide the Katya again, and I'll go ahead and fill in that spot. I'm gonna have to hide the light for a second. Okay. But yeah, the way that leaf was lining up with her skirt, I thought actually looked kind of bad. Oh. So let's just fix that. And then little guy right there. Okay. That should be fine now. Okay, back to what I was doing. It's just one of those little things, you know? But the little things matter. They matter more than you might think. And it was driving me crazy all week. It's terrible. Occasionally I had to go look at it and just like, ooh, it looks nice. Look at that spot and look at that spot. And then, oh my god, the leaf and skirt look the same. Tangent! Oh no! I just kind of got absorbed in lighting and forgot about it for a second. This reminds me that I think I forgot to push the code after Thursday's coding stream. I should do that. I think I forgot last week, too. Okay. So these parts I'm gonna make a little bit darker than some of the other parts that I think more directly face the light. And we'll just kind of gradate them nicely. Alright. And I don't know, what do you think? Am I down to the last dozen leaves yet? I'm probably close. There's a lot of leaves though, so who knows? This one gets to be a little special. I want the window to be blocking a lot of the light, but I still want it to catch a fair amount on the end here. So we're gonna get something like this, within this little piece being a little bit brighter. Ooh, yeah, that looks pretty nice. I like that. Okay, and we'll blend in this little guy. Okay. Yeah, I think I'll still save the table for the end there. So let's get this flower then. Trying to be a little bit more precise than I was when I was just like, it's fine. Job for future me. The future me is now here. Okay. And yeah, I think I'm good with you being in the shadow. I think this leaf should have a little bit more light on him, though. Just a little. I can see why I didn't think so the first time, though. But I changed my mind. Okay, so now we'll get that little spot and into leaf. God, am I glad I only had to do half of them. God, am I glad that I can just mirror this over to the other side and not worry about the other half. I think they line up well enough. I should. If they don't, I'm gonna cry. It's true. You'll get to see me cry live. But no, I'm pretty sure it's fine. I'm pretty sure that like 90% of the background is just gonna be me getting all the light hitting the leaves just right. The other parts are just so easy. So I'm just here, trying very hard not to go completely insane from tedium. I laugh, because otherwise I would cry. But no. I do like painting flowers, I do, but oh my god, there's so many. I think I say this every time I have to drop flowers or frills or what have you. I was just, oh my god, there is so many! It's worth it, but oh my god, there's so many. But what else can you do but draw them? Gotta go through each and every one if I want it to exist. In the picture. It is what it is. See, in my opinion, this is what it means to suffer for your art. It's not about living a terrible life outside of art. It's about certain things that make your art look good are hard and annoying. And so you suffer a little bit to make sure that everything looks good. because it must be done. But the good news is that at the end I get to look at it and get that nice big dopamine hit of just like, ah, it's so nice. It's so pretty. Better than anything else. Makes the entire thing worth it. Okay, yeah, we're down to the last few leaves. Hell yeah. And then we get to do more leaves. Are you ready? No, actually we don't. Before that, I'm gonna do the window frame and the table. I think I'll do the table first. I think the table will be easier since I only have to do the very top. And I could go for something easy and quick and simple right now. After all this. Okay, did I miss anything? No, it doesn't look like it. Looking pretty good. Okay, let's go do the table. It'll also let me finish up this flower here. So I just want the light to kind of catch the surface here. This'll look weird until I mirror it to the other side. Don't worry about it. It'll be fine. You can trust me. I'm very trustworthy. Okay. It's like, come on, when I say that it'll look good once I finish it, have I ever been wrong? Like, ever. I've gotten to the point where I really can trust the process and believe in myself. It's not easy to believe in yourself sometimes. But I really have gotten to the point where it's fine. I actually can believe in myself now. Okay, there we go. And that's the table. Let's get the window now. I have been looking forward to this part. I gotta be careful here because I need yeah, I just need to let it filter properly. So these well-lit areas down here, where you see the bottom where it's kind of pointing toward the window, they get to have like all the light. So I will be removing much of the shadow there. Just because I do think that they mostly catch it. So that's what I'm going to start with. And then I can let it start filtering through some other things afterward. And that will be lovely. Okay, and that part I don't really have to worry about. I don't mind being a little bit messy in a few of these areas because I know that I'm going to be touching them up a little further, and so that's fine. I just want to start with the simple thing. And then after that, I can think about some of the more complicated stuff. Right now, I just don't want any shadows on these light spots. The sun is, or I guess I should say the light source is very directly facing that. It is like pressing up against it, so I don't think any shadows belong here at all. So I gotta get rid of all of them. Okay. I already really like this, and I haven't even done the part that I think is gonna look really cool. Okay, so there we go. There's the very messy start. Now, let's just lightly take off the parts that I think some light kind of shines through. That's why I was a little bit willing to be a little bit messy, because now is where I really bring things out. So I'm just going to... This, I don't think will come out until the highlights come in. But the highlights will really make this sing, I think. That's what I know the picture's good. It starts singing to me. I can hear it. Let's see. But yeah, I don't think it's gonna quite come out until the highlights come in. I don't know. This is going pretty well still. I think it's still managing to look pretty nice. I like this window. I like how angry it looks. It does look very angry. So for a lot of this, these beams are thin enough that I actually think like the vast majority of them is going to be lit, which is funny. I think some of the ones further down won't because they're thicker. And so they're not just going to be completely bathed in light like this. Okay, so something like that. Let's see, does that look good? Yeah, so far so good. Alright. Kind of the same with these guys. These guys are really thin, so I think that they catch most of the light. There we go. So I just want to kind of give the impression that the light is shining through there. So over here at the bottom, it'll catch some. And then there will be just a little bit shining through on the top. Kind of like this. I am maybe not being very precise, but I think it's fine. Okay, I looked at Senpai's art a lot. The artist that I was referencing for some of this. And indeed, in certain areas, you can be very messy and things will still look great. No, it's fine. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, and that is not relevant. So there we go. I think that's the window. I think that's all of the major shadows here. So what I'm going to do is we're going to delete this side. Okay, I want to be a little more precise than that. Let's, where would be a good place to start the selection? Like right here, I guess? This looks pretty centered. And then we come over here, and everything, Stop scrolling so much, Krita! Please! I can't keep up. Okay. There we go. Delete. Delete. Okay, so now I need to get the entirety of this half too. Delete. Okay. So now I should just be able to mirror this. Right. I forgot. I need to select the background. So that this way it'll flip in the right place. So I wasn't super precise. There's a spot in the middle that I didn't get right. If I need to worry about it, I will. I think I'm going to have to worry about it up here. But otherwise, I think it's fine. I think I'm fine with just not really caring. It'll be okay. Let me see. Did I select the wrong thing? I probably did. Okay, so let's make sure I select the right one. We're on this layer, that's what I want. And now I would like you to go away. Alright. Okay, and that's all fine. So there we go. Now the shadows are on. And let's see, in here. Which one are you? You're on both. Okay. Let's just grab the airbrush and just casually erase there since this is all supposed to be in light. We can be very casual about it, it's fine. There we go. Okay. So, at least first group of major shadows done. Let's go ahead and get the light in. So once again, I'm gonna get the color, and I am just gonna fill in the entire thing. Only on this half. I'm not gonna make that mistake again. Let's select the background. There we go. Okay. So, this is obviously way too much, so let's getting in the mask. Add transparency mask, and now let's get rid of all the areas that don't belong in light. Let's see, I kind of want to keep some light areas on this. I'm still kind of thinking about how I want to do it. I can kind of reference over here on Dress Katya for how I wanted it. Oh, I actually didn't have any light on the handles. Okay. So mostly in... Oh, I'm drawing on the wrong half. This is really bright, so I think I'm just gonna delete the half I'm not gonna draw on right now. Just to make it feel a little bit less bright. This is probably close enough. Here we go. Okay. So it'll look weird for a little bit, but don't worry about it. It's fine. I think I actually do want to keep a little bit of light on these guys, just in, like, the brightest areas. And that'll become all much softer a little bit later. All of this is going to be in dark, though. Let's see. Everything there. Okay, the table will definitely be lit. I kind of like all of it being lit like that. And then we have the windows. Alright, so I'm gonna grab the window frame again. I'm debating if I want those to be completely lit or not. I think I will have to lessen some of the light in the window. I think it's a little bit strong. But I actually think I like all of this like this. Like, the window frame is thin enough that I actually think leaving it very bright like this looks nice, and I can touch up the shadows. Because now they look a little bit too messy. I also think I forgot to veinify some of the leaves again. Let's do that before I forget. Oh, but I already mirrored it over. No, it's gotta be done. If I'm gonna do it in a few places, I have to do it everywhere, otherwise it'll look weird. Okay. So only these ones and just the super bright areas. So like here, for example. And here. And probably this guy too, yeah. Just a little bit. And this guy. And this guy. And this guy too. But I think that's all the ones that need it. Oh wait, no, this one. Almost forgot this guy. Okay, and that looks fine to me. So now we can mirror it over. Alright. I have to select the background to make sure it's mirroring in the right place. Okay, and there we go. It's all there. All is well. Okay, so now I can turn the lights back on. And we can start getting those going again. Oh man, it's just so bright. I love it. It's fantastic. Okay. So let's start getting these areas that don't have any light. I'm gonna have to think really hard about the flowers, so I'm not gonna do those just yet. But the areas that I kind of want to become a little bit of an indistinct mass will get 0. Others will get a little bit more, it's fine. I don't want to touch the window itself until I'm ready to do some gradients. Because what I think I'm going to do there is I'm going to take the airbrush and just kind of erase out the middle just a little bit, kind of like that. I just think it looks a little bit better, but I don't want to do that until I'm ready. So I think for this one, I might just need to go in immediately and just start feeling out where the light should actually be. Because some of this is going to be reflected light in the lake, so it'll kind of help me separate out certain leaves and stuff. So I want to play this. Oh, wait, I don't have a transparency mask on this. Oh no, I do. I'm just not drawing on it for some reason. Does that mean I just drew in black all over this? Well, shoot. Mistakes were made. Let's try that again. Oh, I'm not using my friend, the hard round brush. Okay. Yeah, so now we're on the transparency mask. And I can kinda get rid of some of these areas that I do know I want to be a little bit of an indistinct mass. But after that, I wasn't quite sure, so now we can zoom in and I can start getting the lights the way that I think they should be. Let's see, for these I would actually like to get rid of everything. And then gradually add the light back in. Okay, so let's do that. So these guys, I was planning on using just a little bit of reflected light to kind of bring them back. So that would be kind of like this. You know, a very gentle hand here. I don't want them to be very bright at all. I just kind of want to make... I just kind of want to separate them from each other a little. That's like all I want to do. I did this much more strongly with the shadows. And that was just because I feel like with this kind of thing, you can modulate it a little bit better. And I'm almost certainly going to need another layer, so I won't worry about it too much. Let's get those brightest places. And really think about where I want the shadows to be. The areas that I truly think should be the darkest. I think that this will go a long way into helping me make some deeper shadows, while still even some stuff that looks really nice. Okay, so you... I think something like that is good. Oh man, I really like the window frame and the leaves with the lights on now. It's perfect. Oh, that makes me happy. Okay, let's get rid of some of the stuff right back there, and I would like to keep the petal shadows nice and deep. Mostly from, each other. So this is what I will use to really bring out those petals. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. God, I love lighting. It makes me so happy. I cannot express the level of happy that, the level of joy that just messing around with the lighting it brings to me. Okay, let's make it a little weaker right through here where the leaves kind of overlap. Yeah, the rest can be very strong though. I think that flower looks okay. Let's see, let's make this a little softer. Something like that. No light needed up there, I think, but a little bit right through here I think will go a long way. I think that'll look really nice. Okay, so now I want to bring out this flower just a little bit more, but I think it's mostly done there. Let's just give it a little light kind of in the middle, and there we go. This time, I actually started at the top. So once I get to the bottom, we'll actually be at the bottom and be done. Okay, so for this guy, I think I can just put all that in dark here, let the leaf have lots of presence. And I want to bring out some of these deeper shadows. Much like before. I don't think this one is going to be very deep. So I'll be a little more careful with it, but I do kind of want almost a line going around some of this. And I think this is where we're going to get a lot of the nice folds of the petals. And I think that's where they will start becoming very clear and very distinct. Okay. Yeah, I like this a lot. Okay, okay. What else do I want to do with this? I think this one should be a little bit weaker. Right here should be a little bit stronger. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. I can really strongly bring out some of the details of the rose now. I'm so happy. I've been waiting for a little while because I knew this day would come. And so I didn't have to worry about with the way the rose looked before because I knew that I'd be able to do things like this. And hell yeah, it's bringing everything out so wonderfully. Just everything that was a little bit indistinct or low contrast. Not anymore. Not anymore at all. Okay, and I think I want it a little more dark back there. And even the light part, I think I want it to be just a little darker. Kind of the same with a few of these. I do want it to be light, but maybe not quite that light. Okay, I think something like that is good. I think that's about what I want. So now let's bring out the leaves. Just all the little leaves around it. Ah, did I not get the dark right there? Alright, because he'll be over here. Oh, I missed a spot. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay. Yeah, I missed a spot. Alas. Okay, I delete this again then. Okay. It's alright, these things happen. We'll turn off the lights for a second. I don't want the leaves to be stuck like that forever. That would be too sad for me. Okay. There we go! It wasn't that hard to fix anyway, but now I just gotta... Right, select the background. Transform a mirror horizontally. Wonderful. Okay. And now back to what I was doing. We'll catch the edge of this leaf. I want a little bit of it to come around here. A little bit of it to come around there. For this one, I actually don't think this guy needs much highlight at all. He's got enough highlight from just the absence of shadow. Kind of the same with these guys here. I'll probably give this guy a little bit of a highlight though. Okay, and then from here, let's deepen the shadow here just a little. I like the contrast with the flower next to it. But I think all that looks okay. Let's see, I think you might be a little bright. Right through here. On the vine. Don't think it needs to be quite that bright. I think it's fine for the thorn to have a bit of brightness though. Like that looks okay. And let's see, I don't think this thorn is gonna... No, it can be that transparent, it's fine. I don't feel like fixing it. Okay, on to the next area. Let's see, I don't actually think that this part should be that light. I don't know, maybe it should actually. Yeah, this seems fine. Okay, and just a touch of brightness right there, where the rest is shadow. Yeah. Just like that. Give it a nice solid core shadow there. I don't quite like how bright this part is though, so I'm gonna make it a little bit darker even though it doesn't quite make sense. But I think it looks better, so that's what's really important. Okay. Yeah, so now we'll just get the next leaves here. So far, so good. I really like how it's coming out. Like, look at the difference between top and bottom now, just like this rose versus this rose. Difference is huge. Quick stretch. Okay. Actually, kind of looking forward to getting that silly little cabinet. I love painting. Life is good. Okay, so through here, I don't really think this guy needs a lot of light here. Maybe just a little, but not a lot. Same with a lot of these guys. I'll probably put just a tiny bit of the reflected light at the bottom here. Okay, and then here, let's really make those shadows nice and deep. I don't think this guy needs highlight at all, actually. Maybe just a tiny touch right there, but that's about it. And then maybe just a tiny bit of reflected light at the back there. But that is perfect, I think. Okay. And yeah, this area should be nice and bright. Nice and bright. It's true for most of the things through there. They should just be nice and bright. I don't think this guy needs that much highlight. He's got plenty of light from the absence of the shadow. And I think that's fine for pretty much everything through here. I'll probably add just a touch, like, right here. But that's it. Let's get this rose. Okay. So this is where things get serious. And I really think about where all those little core shadows should be and stuff. And just how this thing is folding. Where the creases really are. Everything like that. All right. I really want to bring out this leaf's presence too, so he's going to get a few extra shadows there. I'll just go through every petal, every little crease that I want to have, every little spot that I think should be devoid of light, and make sure that I erase properly. Every little spot. Because there have to be some spots that are devoid of light to really bring out the spots that have it. It's okay. I don't think darkness is something to be feared. Contrast is wonderful. Okay, yeah, I think I like that. And let's see. This guy will also be dark. I'll put just a little light right here on him. But the area around here should definitely be dark. Okay, so now we're on to another flower. The good news is that there's only a few left. And this is actually bringing out more than I initially expected. So I might not need as many lighting layers as I feared. I might be good with just these two. And then a nice little motion blur of the sun filtering through. Okay. So I think that this is working so well. This petal I actually picture sticking out quite a lot, so I think that I have the shadows on there right already. I will add a little fold right here. I think that looks nice. Those guys I'm going to leave mostly in the light there because I do think that they are very much facing that way. Here I want a little bit more of a crease. Same with right about there. But I think that might be about all I want for this part. Yeah, and I think that looks okay. Let's see this guy. Most of this I think should be dark. I actually think that's true for this flower, but we're gonna put just a few little spots of light in them. Kind of the opposite of what I do for a lot of the other ones. There we go. I think that's sufficient. I might still want to do a little bit of reflected light shenanigans. But I don't think it's going to be as much as I initially thought I might need. Alright, so let's get all these areas that need to be dark a little darker. Bring out some of the massive leaves a little bit more. That's the flower I just did, so I think he looks fine. We can start lighting up some of these other areas. Or, you know, not lighting them up, as the case may be. This one, I actually don't think I'm going to put any further shadows in. He is just in the light there. He is just looking right at it. So, I want him to have all the light there. Okay. Alright, let's light up this rose now, and this leaf just a touch. There we go. So, I feel like the big part of lighting up the roses is honestly getting all the shadows. I mean, it makes sense, because in order for certain areas to appear light, the other areas have to appear dark. Now, that's why I said, don't fear the darkness, it's fine. It's useful. The contrast will make your painting that much better. So don't be afraid, embrace it. Yeah, so let's see. I think I actually want to erase that edge just a little bit there, but not too much. And then we'll have a nice little fold here. Hello there, Death Guardian. Welcome back. Just going through and doing some roses and leaves. It's leaves forever. Oh no. Are you okay? I see. I take it didn't go as you were hoping then? What happened? Okay, there we go. Those are some nice lights on those leaves. I think that all looks good. So we'll get some of this through. Mm-hmm. Yeah, as you do. Sounds like a nice place. Alright, so now we have another rose, mostly in shadow. Let's give him just a little bit of light in a few key areas. That'll bring him out. You can be very gentle with it. And I think that's perfect. Now, of course, for these ones, we're back to wanting to use the shadows to bring out everything. Yeah. Unfortunate. Well, it's okay. I mean, at least you know. You don't have to... You don't have to wait for her. Like, that's a pretty clear sign that you can... go see other people. Sucks though, man. Sorry to hear that. It could be any number of things. I don't think there's much point in worrying about it. Sometimes things just don't work out. This is where the distinction of learning from your mistakes, not your failures, comes in. Because it's not necessarily a sign that you did something wrong, it just sometimes things don't work out, so yeah. It can be really hard to know. Especially if they won't tell you. Okay, looks like I missed a spot on the rose here, so we're gonna have to fix that again. That's okay. Sorry to hear that. Unfortunate. Okay. So now... that should all be fine again, and I can go back to bringing out the shadows and the flowers. Let's make them nice and dark. Yeah, oh man, that already looks really good. And I've just barely gotten started there. Man, I love lighting. Wonderful. Does so many nice things for you. God, I really did think it was going to take more to do this, but no, I think that this is going to be fine. Let's get all this in shadow like it should be. Oh, thank you. I've been really enjoying this picture. I've been having a great time. Let's get some more shadows underneath the flowers here. Oh, that's nice. It's a nice little sentiment. Okay. But yeah, now I can actually really bring out the shadows in the rose. I have been a little bit worried about them for a bit, but after today, I don't think I'll ever have to worry about them again. I like them a lot now. It's okay, I've been able to just kind of trust that it would all work out eventually. And it did. It definitely did. Okay, let's get a little bit of light onto this petal. I just want to make the fold clear. There we go. That's pretty nice. Okay, and there we go. I think that's about all that one needs. So now we can get some of these leaves here. Just get them all the light that they need. Make them a little bit less of an indistinct mass. I want to keep them mostly indistinct, but maybe not this much. But I think that's fine. And then these ones are covered up. Okay. So there we go. I think that's pretty good for the foliage. I might... Yawn. I might do just a little bit of reflected light shenanigans, especially back here. Use just a little bit of kind of the same red light I've got on Katya here, so you can see some of the red on the back of her leg here, kind of over here. Yeah, it's pretty visible on the cuff there. I think I might use some of that. Alright. So I think at this point, I'm going to adjust the colors just a little bit. Because I think this is roughly where things are going to go. I mentioned earlier that I wasn't quite happy with the colors in a few places, and there we go. I think that's a little bit better. And then here... Let's see, what do I want to do with you? Maybe a little bit more red? Yeah, there we go. Just a little bit more red. Okay, now I can mirror those to the other side. It is very nice that I only have to draw half. That does make my life a little easier. Although, actually, I guess before I can do that on the light layer, I gotta do the window. So let's go ahead and do that now. I actually kind of like the... Actually, I guess it's true for the dark, too. I need to clean it up a bit. Yeah, so I do kind of like all of the window being lit. I think that looks pretty good. So I do think I will keep it like that. And... yeah, let's clean up the shadows just a little bit now that I can actually, you know, see them. So let's get that. So on some of these thicker ones, I do want them to have a kind of core shadow in there. But this one is a little bit too noticeable, so I need to Just kind of clean it up a bit. It's just a little messy is all. I couldn't really see what I was doing before. It was all too dark, but now the light is there, so I can see again. Okay, this spot's gonna look weird until I mirrored it over. Don't worry about it. You can trust. All is well. And I think these guys are thin enough. Not this part, but the other parts are thin enough that I don't think there's any shadow there. I think there'll be a little bit right through here. And... so let's see, is that part of this? It is. Okay, so this part's just gonna look really odd until I mirror it. It's okay though. And I can always merge the layers together if I feel like I need a little more control. So I might. Okay, and I think this one is actually thick enough that I want a little bit of core shadow in there. Yeah, that's a bit better. This one too. Just barely thick enough though. Okay, and... yeah, let's get clean up over here as well. Just a little messy. But hey, I don't think I did half bad for not being able to see what I was doing when I initially went through this. Okay, so how's it looking now? A little cleaner? There's still some spots that are a little messy. Let's go clean them up. Let's go get this just right. Okay, right through here's a little messy. And right through here still a little messy. I think everything else is looking pretty good. So there we go. I think that I can make that work. So let's... oh, right. Select the thing. There we go. I see that I accidentally locked it. Let's not. Okay, and now we move it over. We get the light. Move it over. Actually, we're not ready on the light yet, but there we go. Okay, so I think the window's good now, and... no, we don't make a copy of the light yet. There we go. So I think the window's good now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and fix the middle like I wanted. I just thought it was a little strong right through here, so I wanted to kind of take it back just a couple of places. I don't think that's realistic, but I think it looks better, so it's fine. Okay. So now we can do the table. And for this one, I think I actually will just, oh wait, I erased on the wrong layer. Let's not do it like that. Okay. Yeah, I should be painting with black. Keep things a little more flexible. I can change my mind later if I want. There we go. Okay. Now, for the table, I do think I will just use the airbrush. Especially, you know, for, like, the lights over here. Why are you like that? Yeah, because it's not from... Oh. Okay, just, artifacting on the table itself. Okay, I'm not gonna worry about it then. Okay. So first, I'm gonna start with getting everything on the curved part really smooth. And then I'll go back and get everything else just right. But I want to start with this because it's easier to be messy. Or it's easier to draw it when I can be messy. Okay. Now I can get the I don't know what you call those, little dividing thingies. We'll get something like this. And, you know, I'm not going to worry about it too strongly. That's why I'm just using the airbrush to keep things simple. I just want to define where it catches the light, and that'll be about it. Up here is a little more important, though. We'll gently let some light kind of come through, and then I think I want this bottom part on the other side of this ridge here to be a little bit darker. Kind of the same with some of this. I'll let the light catch some of this, and then I think as I go down, I'm just going to start gradating it into dark. So we'll start with getting rid of these little shadow spots. As you can see, I am willingly keeping it very messy. I think it's okay this time. I'm actually pretty sure that this part is covered up by Katya anyway. But I just want to get the rough idea in. And then at here, just the bottom part. And I think that will about cover it. Okay, and I do want some light to catch over here, just not on the ridge. And then I think I will handle the handles. Well, that's a phrase. I'll handle the handles before I go and get this to grade 8 the way that I want to. Because I have a vision. It's there, sitting in my head, and I am so ready for it. But I'll go ahead and grab the handles. They're going to be pretty straightforward. All this is going to be pretty straightforward. I'm not trying too hard on the cabinet. The hard part was just defining the early part. But now that that's all well defined and all is well, it's like the rest is easy. Okay, and then I can get this. Not gonna do a whole lot with it. I just want some juicy cat shadows there, and you know what? I think I should use this brush for it now. Give me a little bit of a harder edge here. The bottom I want to keep mostly dark here, and we'll just let it catch the light in a few key places, like right here, for example, where I have that bright highlight, and up here where I have the other bright highlight. There, like that. I think that's fine. Okay, so now I can do what I planned for the bottom here, where we just lightly gradate everything. Just let things get slightly darker at the bottom. And I think that's perfect. I think that's all I really want for the table. So I think I can move this over now. Oh, gotta select. Hell yeah. So there we go. We have a very bright and shiny window now. It doesn't really look like sunset anymore. Don't worry about it. I think it's fine. I don't know, maybe I should erase around the window openings just a little bit. Just let those colors in just a little more. What's it look like without it? Yeah, probably just a little. I merge these. If I do that, then I can't adjust things, and I'm not ready for that. Okay, so I'll just do it like this. It's a little inconvenient, but I can handle a little inconvenience. Okay. Oops, right. I have to select. I keep forgetting. Okay, there we go. That's a bit better. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, we're good. Let me see. So... yeah, I do think I want that little bit of reflected light that I was talking to you about. Or just a little bit red. So I think that will be the color of this guy, but redder. Because right here, you know, this one's kind of a bronze. So... I'm gonna make it a little bit more red, and we're gonna set it to overlay, and I probably need it to be a little lighter too. Maybe somewhere around there. I'll adjust the colors as needed. And then I'm just gonna brush in some areas where I think some brighter color would look nice. Okay, this is too dark. Nah. I just need the right color. Let me put in some areas that I think could use a little bit of special light. Okay, there we go. So, let's find the color that these things should be. Okay, no, I am gonna need a brighter... let's try color dodge. Okay, I think that this will look good once I get the light itself right. That's one hell of a red right there. Okay. I'm going to lazily brush over things with this. I'm not going to go too hard on things right now. And this is just for leaves, because I think this is going to be way too much for the flower. Like, that is something right there. This may not even be exactly the right color, but let's just get it started. Like, that's way too strong right there. Because, I mean, this is literally just meant for stuff in the back. Just to kind of separate things a little more again. help with the feeling of indistinct mass. And I'll see how I feel about it in a little bit. Let's just get it on there right now. This will tell me if I'm being silly, and I don't actually need this. Because it was only a few leaves that I felt like needed it. Okay, so let's take a look. Better or worse? Oh no, that's definitely better. Okay. Well, let's go make it look good then. Okay. Ah, that's right, I can't just switch colors. I have to go up and click the button. Okay. So we'll just blend those guys in. And I think this will be the last bit of... Well, no, there's one more thing I want to do with the background, but... This is going to be the last bit for foliage. And that I consider a huge win, so... Always a huge win when you can finally finish foliage. Freaking leaves, man. There's just so many. They're just everywhere. Getting into places you least expect. Yeah, I don't think the flowers really need anything else. I'll zoom out and check everything before I really make that judgment, but I do think that they're looking pretty dang good, so I'm not really concerned. I wonder if there's a hotkey I just don't know about that would let me switch from eraser mode to normal mode without having to go up and click the button. That'd be really nice right about now. Going up to click the button to go back to eraser mode is kind of annoying. It must be done, but nonetheless, it is kind of annoying. Okay. Yeah, unfortunately, this is nice and quick. Oh, hello there, spirits. Be gone. Goodbye. Alright, spirits have been banished. Let's draw some more. I forgot I had to click the eraser. It keeps happening. Okay, so yeah, basically all I'm really trying to do right here is I did feel like the leaves were kind of blending together a little bit too hard in some of the shadow areas. And while that's intentional, strictly speaking, it was a little bit too much. So I'm just adding this little bit of red light here to make their edges a little bit more clear. And it doesn't have to be a lot. It doesn't even have to be the kind of thing that people consciously notice. That's fine. But I do think it'll help. I'll do a before and after once I finish it. And you won't see a lot, but it'll feel better. Trust me. When I was looking at it there, I was like, I could feel the difference immediately, and So it's just kind of necessary. Some places need it more than others. So see, like here, it's really hard to tell where one leaf ends and the next begins. So, you know, we add just a little bit of red light here, and suddenly it's obvious. It's great. It's that easy. As you can see, I'm taking it back a lot. I do not want it to be very noticeable. I mean, I'm using the brightest of reds here, so we gotta be very careful with that. But yeah, there we go. I think that's about what I want there. And so I've only done it on the right side right now. So you can see just the little quick before and after. It's especially noticeable up here for me. Just little thing. But it's all those little things that add up and make things nice. Okay. I want to try something. This one I'm a little bit less worried about, because I think I might have made it just a little bit too weak. Can I set you to overlay and get the effect I want? Maybe a little stronger. Oh. Ooh. What do you look like on screen instead of color dodge? Oh my. Okay, I like that actually. So, I mean, it's too strong. I'm gonna lower the opacity, but no, that's kind of what I want. Okay, there we go. So now the last thing I wanted was I just wanted a bit of a smeared or slightly motion blurred thing going on. So I'm gonna add one more layer here. I think this is just gonna be a simple overlay. I'm not entirely sure though. And I'm gonna do this kind of motion. Everything looks like blood. That's not quite what I wanted, but that's okay. Light looks pretty good. Let me make it the right color. That does look pretty good. Something vaguely kind of golden reddish. Maybe a little bit less saturation, a little bit more brightness. Okay. And now I can take my smudge tool and just spread things around and make it look like lovely little light rays. So you can see, I am being very haphazard here. That's alright. That's just how rays work. It'll be fine. You can trust me. It'll be great. Okay. I think this effect is a little strong right now. I will reduce the opacity, but I do like it. Let's do some opacity reduction right now. Just a small little thing to get some rays of light going in there. I really wish I could do both halves at once, but such is life. I can't find the center reliably. Is that good? I'm having a little bit of trouble getting it smeared. Maybe this one would work better. Maybe. Yeah, I think it's a little bit better. I know what I'm trying to do, so. There we go, and we'll reduce a little bit. Go back and forth repeatedly until it's doing what I want, until it cooperates. Okay. Right, need to select. I keep forgetting. Okay, yeah, there we go. I think that's about what I want from that spot. So go ahead and merge it. Kind of adjust the light a little bit there. But there we go. Just add a slight glow from the window. I think that's about all I want. Yeah, I think everything's glowing pretty nicely. Now we can turn Katya back on, and I feel like she blends in a little bit more. So let's see, I still got a little while here. Stretch. Okay. So what I think I would like to do... Let's go ahead and collapse the background. I think that's about as far as I will go with the background until I am ready to get Katya's cast shadows in. Because I do think she casts a few, especially down here, and maybe on these flowers, just a little bit. I don't think they necessarily strictly make sense since the light is coming from behind her, but at the very least, now that I know how the rest looks, I feel like I can get her shadows a little bit better now. So let's see, where's my shadow layers? I've got a couple of them. Oh, was I able to get the dark on one layer? That's nice. So before, I was worried about my shadows being a little bit too dark. No, I didn't have to worry at all. Let's fix them. She needs to look vaguely sinister. And now, let's go fix some of the other areas that I didn't quite like. So there were some areas that I just felt like were a little too smooth, especially on her skin here. This is gonna be a thing to fix because this is like half transparent. I live in space. I don't have to care about the location of the sun. It just goes where I want it to go. Don't worry about it. If I don't like where the sun is, I move. Am I drawing on the wrong layer? I am. No wonder it looks bad. Okay. Okay, there we go. I was gonna say, I knew it would be a little tough to manage and I'd probably need the blur tool to help me, but I didn't think it'd be that bad. So let's fix that cheek here. It's okay, I am not beholden to humanity's conception of time. Alright, and then the other thing that was bothering me is I just thought the hair was a little bit too much. Oh, I don't have any on that. Alright. I'm gonna have to pull some shenanigans, but that's fine. I'm gonna be careful around the edge here, but... let's just put in an excessive amount in a bunch of places. I guess that's fine. I'll figure out if I want more in various places later. But yeah, I didn't like the transition on her hair. I thought that her hair not having any shadows ended up not looking very good. Oops, wrong layer. So let's get some shadows on there, and I will just be deliberate in my lighting with it. So things are gonna look messy for a bit. Don't worry about it. It's for the best. So I can still add a few lights in there. to get things doing what I want. That will not be as light later, but I just need to get the shape in. So we're gonna mess things up a bit. Don't worry, it'll be great. I promise. It's always great. Okay, and so her nose is way too dark now, but that's okay. I'll fix it. I'm already happy how the edge feels a little bit less wishy-washy, so I think that this is already an improvement. I just need to fix the rest, because man. I didn't like the jaw either. I'm almost certainly going to have to use the blur tool to work this out. It's unfortunate. Okay. Let's work out that jawline. It might be easier if I just kind of started over, but you know what? It's fine. I'll just paint as I see fit. It'll work out. I actually, unironically, believe in myself. Okay, so I'm just going to define the brow there. Go through. We'll get mouth looking a bit nicer. I might need some more there. So for the record, I hate these colors. They're not working yet. Such is life. Okay, let's get the hair a little bit. Let's see. So we're gonna have light spots over there. Kind of running through here, a little bit running through here. But something like that. I kind of like it being extra dark near her, the light spot on her cheek there. I think that might work. I don't know if it makes sense, but I think it'll work. I'll go ahead and finish up the hair first, I guess. But I am already liking this a little bit better than what I had before, so I consider this a victory. I don't know, it was just too smooth. It wasn't working for me. I do, just looking at the thumbnail, worry about her lower body being a little bit too dark. I think I can do some reflected light shenanigans for that, though. Let's see, I'm gonna need to hide the light layers a little bit, I think. I just want to make sure that I have the dark blended in properly. Because right now this isn't blending, and I don't know why. Why are you not blending? Art is hard. There we go. I was worried that there was like something on another layer that was interfering with my ability to perceive things properly. No, I was just being dumb. These things happen sometimes. I don't know, I think the creator's original is pretty good. She draws some really lovely stuff. It's just made for a different purpose. Because I don't think you can really compare a single illustration like this with a VTuber model. The needs of the art are very different. I actually don't think that, I think that this design... I think that this design would make a good model, but this particular illustration I don't think would work as one very well. Aside from being an absolute hell to rig. It's Katya Sable. She's great. I like her. Okay, so let's just get the little bits of hair blended properly. I just want a little light on this one. Not a lot, just a little. Okay, and while I'm here, I might as well get this side too. It's definitely a little harder to manage getting things really soft with this brush, but it's okay. I can do it. The airbrush was definitely a bit easier, so I can understand why I wanted to go with that, but the result just didn't work for me. And the result is what matters, so here we are. Doing something a little bit more difficult. Okay, let me see, like the side right there. Why are you not... Oh, I probably don't have anything painted there. Okay, so I need a little bit more here. Be there! Okay. See, this is why when I did the background, I was like, no, I'm not gonna make the same mistake as I did on the character. I'm just gonna fill in the whole thing, and then erase the parts that don't need light. I kind of had that impression. There aren't very many people out here. There we go. Because, yeah, when I was doing the background, I didn't have to worry about putting in new bits of shadow or light. They were just there. Because I filled the whole thing and then just erased the parts that weren't supposed to have it. But yeah, I generally assume most of the people watching me are not in space. There aren't very many people out here. I'd be more surprised if I found somebody that was in space. Oh no, I wanted that from the window. Yeah. I actually think that looks pretty good. Okay, there we go. I think that's pretty nice. Let's see if I can tame the rest of this. I have a vision, so hopefully I can realize it. We're just gonna take it slowly, carefully, get all those little strands where I want them to be. I think I'm gonna worry about the shape a little more than the value for now. And then I'll get the light, the right shade there. That's why I said I have a vision. I gotta get it now. Otherwise I will be unhappy for the rest of the day, and nobody wants that. There we go. But no, I'm pretty sure I can get it. I might need the blur tool to help me in a few areas though, because man, are my brushstrokes just really, really messy. I don't know, honestly, it might be fine. Make it a little bit more painterly. I don't know. I'll see how I feel about it near the end. Brush control, not something I've had to do in a while. Something like that, and then get the highlight out on this strand here. Something like that. Let me try to get that shape a little neater. We're gonna be going back and forth over things a few times. It's okay. Okay, now a little darker. No, not that dark. There we go. Okay, and now for this strand is in the wrong place. That's okay. Let's put it where it belongs. It'll be happier there. Here and here. The hair is definitely way too dark. And some of the lights are way too light. It's like the worst of both. But it's okay. It's getting there. Okay, so I think that's roughly where I want things. I don't think I'm going to be able to smooth that out properly though, so let's use the friend of the smudge tool to kind of help me wrangle things into place. Okay, so a little bit smoother now. Let's go back to painting. I actually do think it lost a little something there, so I probably can get away with leaving things a little bit messier than I ordinarily would. I just have things against messiness. Don't worry about it. I don't know, it's been fairly consistent for me, where even if I can recognize an artist's skill, if their style is just really messy, I tend to not like it. One of those taste things. And it's been pretty normal. Pretty consistent in my personal taste. Okay, so let's see if I can hammer this out. This is hair. It's things around the face. So I do think it's worth giving it a lot of extra effort to get it just right. And I mean, so far so good. I'm liking it. I think it's looking pretty dang good. I just might have to go over things a few times again. You know, that's why I said someday I'll get a little bit better with my brush control, and then I don't have to do things in quite as many brush strokes. But right now I can only do what I can do, so I'll take as many brush strokes as I need. Once again, I think I'm gonna have to use blur and or smudge to tame it a little bit. So something like that. Let's get the values right now. So I'm going to zoom out a bit here. Something like that, I think. With maybe we'll grab the airbrush. A little bit lightness up at the top. Yes. Actually, it doesn't look half bad just like that. Let me just touch up the few areas that I think it might need help. Might actually do better with this brush. This is another one that I can use to kind of tame the wilds. It does. I've used it for hair a reasonable amount to just kind of push things around. Get rid of some blobbiness and areas I don't like. And yeah, I think that that's working well for it. Okay, yeah, that's like 100 times better than what I had before. And let's see, I think this part of her cheek is way too bright. So I need to mess with that. Let's get her hair selected again. And this time I will invert it. Oops. So that this way, I will not color on the hair, no matter what I do. Let's get this a little bit better. Okay, so something like that for there, and... I want, like, a little bit of the nose to be lit, right there. And I'm not gonna worry about relative values to the other side right now. I can kind of fix that up with the airbrush after I get everything the way I want. So I'm only going to worry about values relative to everything else on this side of her face. I do want a light on the cheek here, but that was just way too bright. God, I look forward to messing with subsurface scattering on her ears. I want her eyes to look a little sinister. Very important. I just kind of want a tiny hint of light there. And then here. A little bit darker. Like I said, I just don't want it to be too much. Now I'm just trying to get the shape right. I want it to kind of go up from her mouth there. And I will probably need a little bit of blur to tame this. No. I actually like it bleeding into the hair like this a little better. I don't think it makes sense, but it looks really good, so it's fine. Okay, and then over here should be a little bit lighter relative to this part. Okay, let's get that jawline. Let's get that jawline. Once again, I think that the chin should have a little bit more light here. So something like that, and how am I gonna smooth that? Because I feel like the blur will take like everything, and I'll have the same problem that I had before. See, like, it's so plastic. I hate it. Yeah, maybe I'll just use the wet brush again. That works pretty well. So I don't want to use the same one because that's the one I use for hair. I think that this guy will do a little bit better here. Yeah, there we go. It's not completely getting rid of all the texture I built up. It's just kind of taming it, and that's what I want. Okay, and maybe the rest I can kind of get with the airbrush. Now this is already getting it a little bit too smooth again. I'm gonna stop right there. Go derp around with the wet brushes again. I don't know. Even if I mostly use this one for hair, it's probably fine for other things too. It's too furry. I don't like it. What about you? How do I feel about this one? How do I feel about it? Pretty similar to the brush I was just using, but the way it moves things around is a bit different. I think I can get behind this one. Okay, cool. Let's just touch some things up here. And I think once I finish up the face here, that will be all for today. Let's go ahead and finish things up with the face. Why is it having so much trouble pushing things? There we go. Well, I'm not done yet, but it might still be a second here, since I'm having a little bit of trouble getting that cheek to work out here. Let me try a different one. This needs to blend without looking plastic. Oh no! I still feel like the transition here is really hard. I'd like it to be softer, but I'm having trouble finding one that actually does that in the way I want. It either gets it a little bit too soft or not soft enough. And that's the struggle. And the struggle is real. I don't know, will I be happy if I blur that a little bit? Maybe do it like this. Yeah, that's not bad. That's a little bit less plastic than what I had before. I think I can get behind that. And then airbrush just to get the areas that I think should be a little bit lighter. Like down here. And I want a little bit of a dark around the corner of her mouth here. This just feels a little bit too hard. Okay, so how's that? Okay, let me see. I want to adjust the cheek just a little bit here. Wrong way. Let me see. I want to check something on cheeks. From Senpai here. But yeah, he doesn't do very much with cheeks. Doesn't really light them very much at all. Keeps them fairly smooth. So, in that case... maybe I should try a little bit less. I do think it's appropriate here. I do. So I want to keep a little. Let's keep maybe the value difference a little weaker. And maybe that will fix the final thing. Okay, I feel like her cheek is dropping a little bit too hard here, so let's just gently gradate this a little better. Gently. Don't want to overdo it. I do feel like I'm starting to get a little smooth again, so I'm concerned. Okay, and then a little more dark on this side. Okay, there we go. I think the face is looking a little bit better now. Let me adjust the eyes just a little bit. I want them to be a little bit lighter. Here on the eyelid and here on the brow, just a little. There we go. Now we got a little bit of glowing to the eyes that looks a little bit ominous. And on this side, I want a little bit more shadow right through here and a little bit less right through there. Let me turn the Katya back on. Okay. But yeah, there we go. I think that's pretty good for the face. And I think with that, I'll be able to fix all of the other lighting problems I have with the character. Mostly the lower body. Let me turn the lights back on, actually. There we go. But I think I can bring out the lower body a bit better, mostly. But I think her face is looking pretty okay now. I might add a little bit more bits of reflected light and stuff. Like, I kind of like this reddish color I got of the suit here. That might be appropriate to bring into her hair and this side of her face. And, of course, to her ears, which are going to, you know, have that effect where they turn a little bit red when light is shining directly through them. I still need to draw that. I think I can do a little bit more with her hair, too. Right now, it's just kind of fading into nothing, and I don't really want that to happen. I was kind of okay with things fading into nothing in the background, because it's not really that important. But I do feel like with this particular illustration, I really should try to bring out the clothes as much as I can, even in areas that are maybe a little bit less important, like around her lower body here. Or, you know, the bottom of the hair and all that. I think that all of this area here is still blending in a little bit too hard. So I want to work a little bit more to bring that out. But I think the face is good now. So I'll take that. I think her hair is looking much better. And I just want to mess with the ears. Because, I mean, she's got knife ears. You gotta do good stuff with the ears. You gotta. It's required. So... there we go. But I think I will go ahead and stop here for today. So, thank you all for coming, and I hope you're able to make something wonderful today. I will see you all next Thursday with some more game design.